and welcome to another live stream here on the channel for the Black Hood crew. I am your host slash chauffeur, BHCxDark. My name is always there in the corner. And as always, as well, you can follow along at the Black Hood crew on YouTube and Facebook. And follow along at my name there on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. I go live on all of those except for TikTok and Instagram because their streaming API does not allow for third-party streaming like I use here on Restream. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this ride started. I'm on my way to work. It is Monday, September 19th of 2022, and it is a fairly cloudy day. I mean, not black clouds, but like a sufficiently gray clouds. So we will see. Got a cough that still won't go away. So let's go ahead and get this started. Big news is the passing of Queen Elizabeth II of England at the ripe old age of 96. Yeah, she flipped her Harley. Doing sick tricks in Ireland, and who knew? I'm kidding, of course. She's 96 years old. 96 years old. She finally passes, making her son, Charles, King Charles III. Now, if you're wondering, why did he get the third at the end of his name? It's because prior to him being King Charles III, there were two other monarchs called King Charles, the first and the second. Now, from what I understand, from what I've read about the whole naming convention in England for monarchs is, regardless of what their actual name is, like, his name could have been like Tim, but if he wanted to be called King Charles, he can make that distinction. Like, he can say, yeah, I am now going to be called King Charles, but my birth name is like Tim. Which I think is kind of weird. I always thought that if you became a reigning monarch, your name was basically king or queen, whatever the hell your name is. So I just thought that was kind of weird. But hey, what do I don't live in I don't live in England. That's definitely not my scene. So whatever, right? But it's still kind of pivotal, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, because she's been reigning for the better end of about 50, 60 years. So she saw a lot. She was Queen of England for a lot of major things. So, yeah. It's definitely, I mean, I wouldn't say weird because, the monarchy in England had no impact on us in any way, shape, or form. But still, So yeah, there's that. Another thing is the fact that the monarchy hasn't had any actual political power for I would say the better part of 50 years. They were mostly just place figureheads, employees, if you would, of the English people. The pay that went to, or the money that they made was literally pulled from taxes that they collected in England. So essentially, they were no more than police officers like here in the United States, whose pay, again, comes from taxes that we pay here as citizens. So they had no political power. The Queen couldn't turn around and say, I declare war, or I want to pass this piece of legislation, that piece of legislation. Never going to happen. Power in England was basically between the prime minister, who was the head person in charge, but they also had parliament, which was the major governing body in England. Parliament would be the equivalent of, say, like the Senate, but with a lot more shouting and black robes and fake hair. Yeah, they did that. If you watch videos of like the floor of Parliament, like they have full-on shouting matches at each other. Like, it's wild. Like, they're almost one step away from what's this one country? I think it's like Indonesia, maybe the Philippines, some of these like island type nations over near China, but like in the Indonesian Ocean, which is the west edge of like the Pacific Ocean, where they have full-on fist fights over legislation. Like, when I saw a video of that, I was like, oh snap! Like a disagreement wasn't just like, I don't agree with you and I don't agree with you, but it's more like, I don't agree with you, so take these hands. And they would have full-on fist fights. They would throw crap. Like, I was like, oh snap! Like, wild. Like, absolutely wild. I think we should instill something like that here. Like, could you imagine? You go to turn on CNN and they're taking a vote in Congress, and they have a couple people that are in the middle of a shouting match, and all of a sudden they like start throwing hands. Like, a chair gets thrown across the room, and you're just like, oh snap! Like, that would definitely make me turn on CNN a hell of a lot more than the boring stuff that they usually show. Like, that would be absolutely wild, and I would tune in for that. Like, full-on fist fights in the middle of the floor of Congress. Like, it would definitely make January 8th, or was it the 9th or 7th? I don't fucking know anymore. It would definitely make that a lot more interesting, where you got people storming into the Capitol and the actual like senators are like fighting back, like literally throwing hands with the citizenry of this country. Like, that would be absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But unfortunately, that's not how it is, because most people that got elected to the Senate or Congress or whatever the hell you want to call it are usually old, dusty people. Truth be told, we need young blood. Like, there shouldn't be career politicians. That should be against the law. I've said this before. And I know people on both sides of it. I'm talking about the bluest blue and the reddest red, who actually agree that career politicians, like, no one should be a career politician. Like, senators, congressmen should have term limits. And the first time I heard that from both sides, I was like, oh, snap. Like, actual consensus? Like, even from the extreme people. I'm talking about, like really extreme people on both sides are like, yeah, there should be term limits in every position of government. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. But still, you get some young blood, and then we'll see fist fly, which would be absolutely hilarious. Like, I would record that. Like, I would play it back and look for like best moments and do like best fights of Congress on YouTube. Like, short clips are just like the best hits. Like, oh man, so and so clock so and so, with a nice right hook, or damn, he's keeping him at a distance with some good jabs. Like, if anything, it would be a requirement to serve in Congress to have boxing skills. You know what I mean? Like, that would be absolutely hilarious. Could you imagine every member of Congress is like a certified black belt in some form of martial arts? Like, people from the island nations would be like, masters of Muay Thai. People in the mainland would be more, karate or kung fu. Some people know jujitsu. Like, that would be absolutely hilarious. Like, could you imagine settling an argument? And there's specifically a ring in the center. Like, they pick their best fighter and they treat it like the UFC. You get your best fighter on the left, you get your best fighter on the right, and you basically throw them in an octagon, put a mouth guard on and say, yo, last one standing, their vote goes in, like, their piece of legislation gets passed. Like, that would be intense. And I would watch the hell out of that. Like I said, that would make watching CNN a hell of a lot more interesting. A hell of a lot more interesting. Oof. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. It would definitely, cut down on how long they serve in office if they regularly had to throw hands to settle arguments, to get legislation passed. Like, could you imagine? Because not for nothing, UFC fighters don't necessarily have really long careers. Usually because they got the crap kicked out of them regularly. So, yeah, could you imagine that? That would definitely, it would definitely keep them from wanting to be reelected. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I don't want to get reelected again because I'm tired of being hit. I'm tired of taking, roundhouse, to the face. I'm tired of, having to train constantly just so I'm able to kick the other person's ass. Like, it would definitely be a huge deterrent from being elected into politics. And only those who are truly willing to do what needs to be done for the country would want to get elected. Like, damn, I want to better my community. I want to better my state. I want to better my country. Let me get elected to office. But wait a minute. Let me start training right now. Let me start going to the gym. Let me start, working with this trainer or that trainer. Get my skills up to level before I have to, beat a guy up to get a piece of, law passed. You know what I mean? I think it'd be a hell of a lot more interesting. It would definitely bring a more democratic feel to this country. Because right now, voting alone, it's almost like a scam. Like, damn near it's a scam, you know what I mean? Because of the way it's set up. So to have that, you elect the best fighters, or you train the best fighters for your state, your local, neighborhood, and they basically treat it like a UFC tournament. You got a bunch of fighters in your state. They start throwing hands. Victor moves on to the next level. Top fighter in your state gets to represent you in, on the floor of Congress. And every 4 years, they hold a big tournament over a period of a month. And and the winner of that gets to be president for 4 years. You want to get reelected? Defend the belt. Defend the title. You know what I mean? Like, it would definitely make the election process in this country a hell of a lot more interesting. and definitely make it where like the strongest survive. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. It doesn't matter what connections you got. Unless you can throw hands, you're not going anywhere. Unless you can fight like the best of them, you are not going anywhere. And again, it would deter a lot of people from running. It would deter a lot of people from even throwing their hat in the ring. Because not for nothing, not everyone is made to fight. Like, you don't have a neighbor who just happens to be, you know, some top shelf level fighter. Not everyone is meant to fight, and it's clear. You can see that even in some of these card title battles in the UFC or even boxing and whatnot. Like, there are some people who go into the ring, go into the octagon, and you're like, damn, that dude shouldn't be in there. You know what I mean? So it would definitely change how this country is run. I think it'd be run better. You know, new champion, new representative every couple of years or so. And that's how they settle arguments. Hey, let's hop in the ring. My piece of legislation versus your piece of legislation written right here. You know? Yeah, we would definitely see a much more engaged government at that point. Bless me. So, yeah, I think that would be super interesting. Super, super interesting. And like I said, it would definitely change how this whole country is run if that's what you had to do. You want to get elected? Okay, you got to be the top fighter in your state. But not even that. Like, you got to start street level. You got to start at the bottom. You know? Challenging people along the way. I challenge the mayor. You know, 1v1. I challenge, you know, my current senator, 1v1. Let's go. You know? If you win, bam, you get the position. You lose, oh, you get kicked back down. It would definitely make the whole electoral process around here very, very interesting. It would definitely make, like, campaigns. Oh, my God, forget it. Campaigns lasting months? Hell no. They just say, hey, so-and-so got challenged to a fight. Fight's on Friday. Tune to this channel to watch it. You know? Like, again, that would be super interesting. Super, super interesting. So, yeah, be kind of funny. I mean, I definitely won't do it. I'm definitely not a fighter. I'll tell you that much right now. I am not a fighter. Dang it, I forgot to grab it. I'll grab it when I get back. So, I bought a new sun pass to replace the one in this truck, because the one I had before was one of the sticky ones. And I bought one of the ones with the suction cups. I don't plan on putting it in the window because it gets hot. The rubber of the suction cup gets warped and then stuff starts to fall off. I mean, the stand for my phone right now is actually attached to the dash with like a little plate that a suction cups onto. And there's been plenty of times where I've hopped into this truck and I'm like, where the hell's my stand? And I look down, it's on the floor. So it'd be more along the lines of just having it on the dash, more pronounced, and not like tucked away over by my windshield like the sticky one is right now. Because again, you can't attach it to the glass because the sticky part is already gone bad. Come on, really. People. Just making sure I took my hairband out. So yeah, I gotta put that in the truck tomorrow when I get home. Yeah, I get home. So yeah, we'll see what today brings. I can definitely tell you yesterday was a very nice work day. Like, we had patience, but like nothing two people couldn't handle, you know what I mean? So it was good. It was good. Definitely a good day. Hopefully, I mean, it is Monday after all, so we'll see how this goes. Fingers crossed we have a good day today. People stay the hell away. They don't have their usual issues where they're trying to get out of going to work for whatever reason. We'll see. So, fingers crossed. In the meantime, just trying to get through the day, trying to get through all of this. See where we end up with everything else that's going on in the world. Hopefully we'll have better days coming. We can only hope for it. You know what I mean? Like, we can only hope for those better days. Definitely strive for them. Work for better days. You know, and the only way we can do that is just in general being better each day. Be a better person for yourself. Be a better person for your partner, your children, your family, your loved ones, your friends. Just be a better person each day, because hopefully, and this is hopefully, it'll get people to be motivated to be better themselves instead of being haters, which is what tends to happen more often than not. Like, another person sometimes just can't handle someone they see, someone they know, or even someone they don't know, just succeeding even a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, some people just can't handle it. Like, some people just can't handle seeing another person succeed. Like, I have no problem with another person bettering themselves, whether it's through education, whether it's job promotion, whether it's them going to the gym, or them, you know, building new habits, kicking old habits, you know, bad habits. Like, if you're doing that right now, keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it going. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you be better than the day you were before. Whether, again, that's building good habits and kicking old ones. Bettering your physical health, eating better. Even little things like that. Reading more. Trying to get a better understanding of the world around you. You know, paying more attention to, you know, local news, or just paying attention to the news at all. You know, doing your own research, learning more about these things that are happening. Like, those are little things bettering yourself. You're becoming more well-rounded in the world when you learn more about what's going on around you. You know, if you're going to school right now, if you're if you're, applying for a promotion, if you're going through an interview process for a new job, keep it going. Keep it up. The more everyone succeeds, the better everyone else will be around them. Truth be told. Because when a person moves up in a company, that's a position that opens up for someone new, for someone to come up. And that's not a good place to have that. I just passed a dude stopped there at a light who literally has phone holder setup thing, but it's on the windshield at eye level, clearly blocking the view. I'm sitting there what? That's not a good place for them. So anyway, like I was saying, the only way things will get better for everyone is if we support each other. Cheer each other on. Instead of hating on somebody because they're doing better than you, be like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. Because in all reality, you can. Each of us can be better than the day before. Whether it's through a major event or a little one. Big change or a little change. There's ways to do it. You just got to be willing to make changes, little changes, and be better than you were the day before. We can all do it. Hell, I can do it. And if I can do it, hell, everybody can do it. So anyway, I've arrived at work. It is time for me to get my way indoors. I'll be grabbing my umbrella because it's looking mighty rainish out there. So I'll be making my way inside as soon as we cut this out. So I have been your chauffeur / streamer, BHCxDark. Name is always there in the corner. The Black Hood Crew on YouTube and Facebook, and then my name on Twitch, Twitter, Steam, Trovo, TikTok, Instagram. So until tomorrow, same time around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll just find me again here. Until then, be smart, be safe, and be excellent.